Hey, YouTube Rando here. So I just wanted to share a tip with you guys on making your fire starters. This isn't necessarily about the fire starters, but I do want to say something. You can make these things super cheap. I bought, I think, an 80 pack of these for $1 from the Dollar Tree, and I bought a 30 pack of these for $1. Now what I came out with is one of these will coat 2 of these, so you're getting what, 60 fire starters for $2. Don't get much cheaper than that unless you want to go buy Vaseline and cotton balls. But I wanted something that's you know, when you pull it out to use it, it doesn't get all over your fingers. I don't like messing with Vaseline and cotton balls, so I'm going to start trying wax just to see if it works any better. And I've watched a few videos on it, but I've never actually seen it in use, so we're going to try to test it out and see if it works at the end of this video. I've already tested it a little bit, so I kind of know it works, but the one thing I haven't done is hit it with a ferro rod, and that's what we're going to try. This is my quick tip. Instead of using a pot and heating up the wax and making a big mess and ruining one of your pots, buy one of these candle warmers. These things are like $10, and if you do this often enough, you get your money's worth out of them. And then you could just get the, you know, smell good wax and throw them in there when you're not using it, and then your house smells good. So my wife is in love with these things. We got a whole set of them as a wedding gift, and I took this one just for this reason, so I could start melting wax in it. And it works. It's not super fast, but it's not super slow either. Where did I put that candle at? These cheaper teacup candles, you can just push the wick out of them, and I break it in 4s. Drop those down in there, get them in the middle, get them flat, and that's going to melt really easy. We're not going to sit here and watch it melt, of course, but I'm still in the process of making more of these things. You can see here I've got a dozen of them packed into cellophanes, and then I just wrapped them. I don't think that's really necessary, but I didn't want to get them all over my pack, and these are going inside of my pack. Another thing I did was took some cotton ball and kind of shredded a little bit of fat wood in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then dipped that down in the wax. Strike anywhere matches. Took a bunch of the kitchen size and just threw them down in there and pulled them out one at a time, let them dry. Did a couple pieces of fat wood as well. So you can do a lot of things with this, and you're not going to make a big huge mess. I actually do it at my desk, and I really don't make a big mess with them. But I wanted to try these out, so I left one out. And we are going to kind of fluff it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Kind of get down to the core. And what I started doing is I take 2 of them at one time and press them together and dip each side. And then when you pull them apart, it's already fluffed for you on the inside. Now it's still got wax on the inside, it's just not as heavy as it is if you dip each side singles. So I double stack them now, and it'll soak up all the candle wax from one teacup candle. See if I can do this in frame. There you go. Pretty easy, very cheap. I like this method a whole lot better than Vaseline cotton balls, so I think this is what I'm going to start using. It is a little bit heavier, admittedly, but not that much heavier. And you could probably cut this thing up into two separate pieces, tear it in half, and get 2 fires out of one. So this is potentially, 24 fires right here. Pretty cool. I had to start making these more often. A buddy of mine here on YouTube who pointed them out towards me, or to me. He had a video on them, and hell, what was his name? Call him a buddy. His name's Ron, but I don't know. I forget what his screen name is. And I'll have to give him a proper shout out over this, anyways. This candle wax and this candle warmer is already starting to melt a little bit. And what I like to do is I take a couple extra chunks, and after I dip a couple matches, if I'm doing matches, I just throw another chunk in there, let it melt down, and that keeps it topped off while I'm doing my matches. And I do the whole match. I was just dipping the tip of it down there. God, that sounded bad. I was just dipping the match head down in there, and then I said, it's kind of too much work, so I just took a handful of matches and dropped them down in there, and singled them out, made them to where it was individual matches, made sure they were all covered, and pulled them out one by one and dried them, and got a nice little pack of waterproof strike anywhere matches now. I don't even need a striker with these. I wrapped them in cellophane again. Didn't have to, but I went ahead and did it anyway. And actually this is Saran wrap, not cellophane, but you catch my drift. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was helpful. These things right here, man, that's the big tip. Those are a lifesaver. They work great. They actually sell cheap ones for like $1 at the Dollar Tree, and you just take your teacup candle and stick it underneath the glass, and then put your wax in the glass, and the teacup candle melts the wax. So you can get one for like $1 if you want to, and you just run it off of teacup candles, which are super cheap anyway. So hope you enjoyed. Hope it was helpful. That'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching, YouTube.